we could you could take over. Let me just make a simple introduction here. Sheti Moringa Farmers Producers Group in India. We had to reach out to them based on their rich knowledge in Moringa. You know, in Africa, with Moringa, India is far ahead, and they are the originators of Moringa. So we had to reach out to them and to plead with them to help us with technical support. So this project or program we are doing, we had to plead to get them on board. And the idea is just to make sure that they could support us with technical help. And we will learn from them. So I will plead with Heroid and all the others, Akwesi and the others, just to also help and then make sure that we can still keep them on board and not to frustrate the system. So actually, we had to reach out to them. I'm talking about the Indian side, just because of the challenges we are having in the Western Africa, Central Africa, and some of the African countries. Mr. Harry, you will bear with me that in Africa, we lack knowledge in Moringa as compared to the Indians. And we need to get them on board. So that is the arrangement we have done. So all the efforts they brought about 40 packs of ODC3, and we distributed it for free to other African people around, and they planted for free. So this initiative is just to support the African side for us to be more progressive and productive with Moringa. So please, we will need all of you to be on board to support the system and then let it be more sustainable as we progress. Thank you very much. My boss, Sheti, please let the ball
No, no.
roll.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
good.
thank you. Thank you so much, Joshua.
Yeah.
See, we also, it's not like, we also have problems, but then what we started doing is one person cannot be expert in everything. So what we started doing here is we started collaborating with the other farmers, like, because
Okay.
farmers are actually the innovators here. What they do is if they come up with some problem, they find some kind of solution, which is not costly, because even in India we are not able to afford the costly technology and the costly material and everything. So we come up with some kind of, we call it a jugaad. That's called as some kind of idea where it is feasible for us to implement it and solve our problems. But then, yeah, one person cannot be expert in everything, so we started collaborating, and once we collaborate, we discuss our problem. So if sometimes if I do not have solution, if I do not think of something, maybe some other person, who has already found or who has already faced this problem, he already has that solution, so he just discuss that solution with us and help to implement the solution. So in that way, what happens, we do not have to spend a lot of money fixing the problems or trying to find the best practices in the agriculture, because we are just sharing with each other and then passing it on, and we not only the verbal ideas, we are also try to take the videos how exactly it is being done and if it is feasible to implement in somebody else's farm, and then we show them the video as well so that they can look into the video. Sometimes, because just passing on the idea is not enough, you have to show them how it is being done actually on the field. And then when we pass this idea, when he sees the video, he can copy that video, he can copy the same idea, or he can make some changes according to his own problem, his own resources, modify the idea and then implement in his own farm. So this is the idea I wanted to share with others as well, in other country as well, with all the farmers. So that is the reason we came up with this program, knowledge exchange program. Let me share a few slides with you here, and we can begin with what this program is all about, and then we move on to the registration forms that you have shared. We look into it, what you have written, what are the possibilities, and how can we go ahead with that thing. Let me see if I can share the screen. Okay. Okay, can you uh, uh, is my screen visible to everybody?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. Uh, We have been posting and talking about this knowledge exchange programs on Facebook. You must have read about it, but then I still would like to go ahead and explain what it is all about. Uh, so this knowledge exchange program is not just the training. This program is gonna be, once you enroll into this program is gonna be for 1 year. So what we do in this 1 year, we do a lot of trainings, we do a lot of data exchange, real-time data exchange, and then we try to find the solution of the problem. Not only your problem, we can, even if I have problem, I'm going to discuss the problem with you. If you have any solution, we can discuss that. If you have any problems, we can discuss on that. If something I have better to share, I definitely gonna share with you from videos, verbal. We can have meetings, we can have individual meetings as well, because everyone will have a different geographical location, different
Darkner.
weather, yeah, different objective. Somebody would like to go for the leaf production, somebody would like to go for the seed production, somebody would like to go for root production, or any objective you have. So we would individually take that objective, we will see what are the resources you have, how we can implement it, and how can we make it better and cost effective. See, because this is a commercial farming, the outcome should be, we all like to earn some money, we like to produce something in our farm, sell it in the market, and earn some money, earn bread and butter. That is the main objective. But the thing is that how can we do it efficiently? If we have problem, how can we solve it efficiently? If I do not understand, if I'm not thinking about some solution, maybe somebody else has the solution, he can share it with me. That is the reason, we started with this knowledge exchange program, and this is going to be the long term program. We just not going to leave with you some training and the videos. We will be with you, together. You have any problem, we'll conduct a meeting, and then you can show your video, the data, and you can talk about the problem. You can talk about the resources you have, and according to your resources, your individual problems, we will have the brain, we will talk about it and we will discuss the solution. Now again, this Moringa City and Joshua is helping, helping promoting this program, and I really thank you, Moringa City and Joshua, for this, because individually alone I cannot do anything. So he's also the part of the team. So the plan is we will start with the basic training. Once you enroll with this program, we will start with this basic training so that we all come onto the same level, so that we understand each other. And from there, everybody will have their own journey, because you will have your own problem, your geographical location will be different, your market will be different, weather will be different, the crop pattern will be different, intercropping will be completely different. So we are not intending to apply same formula to everybody. That what happens in the training. This is not a training, this is a complete exchange program. Training is just the part of this program. So we will start with the training, where we will talk about the selection of variety. I've seen that a lot of people, many people just know there is one variety, PKM1 or PKM12. But in India, there are a lot of varieties that is being developed by the horticulture institutes, and they are coming up, with the better yield and the better outcome, rather than just sticking with the one variety. So you will have, we will talk about the variety. You will have different options, which one you want to choose depending on which crop you want to sell in the market. We will talk about the quality parameter. When we go to the market, we always just keep talking about the price. What price is the PKM1 or what price is the PKM2? And the people are also selling the seed, but then nobody is talking about the quality parameter in terms of, what kind of, if the isolation distance, if I'm producing the seed, there are so many scientific parameters has to be maintained, so that the seed that you are buying are true to type. They are inheriting the same genetical purity into the seed. You just cannot, just plant it and grab the seed and start selling. There has to be some quality parameter, so that when you go into the market to buy the seed, you're not only comparing the prices, you will also ask them what is the quality of this seed. And we will talk about the quality, what are the quality parameters, and how the seed production is actually being taken, so that when you buy that seed, you will get the maximum benefit. You're just not gonna buy any seed, it will come with the quality. After that, in this training program, the basic training program, we will also talk about the land preparation. And I'm not talking about the general land preparation, I'm talking about your land preparation, depending on what is the geometry, what type of soil is it, how many acres you want to do it, what is the resource, like, how much is the water, when is the water available, you want to do it organically or residue free, what is your plan. And depending on, we will talk about the land preparation, the distance between plants, where you're gonna want to go for the leaf production, or you want to go for the seed production, if you like to include the intercropping in between, so that you can have a backup. Because if you're not able to sell anything, what you're going to do about it? So we will talk about the land preparation, how you're going to do about, what you're going to do about it, and how the land preparation is being done. After that, we will talk about the sowing time. The right sowing time is also important for the growth of the plant. The temperature is very, very important for the moringa. After that, we will talk about the fertilizer and soil management in this training. If somebody like to go for the organic, you should have some plan before you go for the organic. You just cannot go for the organic and expect that you will be keep getting the same amount of yield throughout the year. Because once you plant, initial few months you will get good yield, because your soil is fresh, and there are a lot of nutrients in the soil. But then your plants keep sucking all the nutrients, and you will have to refill those nutrition in the soil, because this is commercial farming. We are not doing the gardening on something. This is a commercial farming where you would like to take the maximum produce and sell it in the market. So if you would like to keep the consistency in the yield, you will have to keep refeeding the soil, whether it's your organic or it's residue free. So some kind of fertilizer, whether it's organic fertilizer or synthetic fertilizer or any fertilizer that you have available, you will have to make a plan when you're gonna uh, put the fertilizer, how you're gonna put the fertilizer. We will have to plan that. So we will have to talk about the soil management as well. Soil management means the bacteria in the soil, how lively your soil is. Your bacteria in the soil are most important. Without those bacteria, these fertilizers will not work. So we will also have to look into that part, that you're not spending too much money for the fertilizer and soil management. In fact, you will have to spend necessary amount, because your budget is also important. Necessary amount, you're investing the money on the necessary things, so that you get the right amount of output, right amount of yield from that particular farm, and that you can sell it in the market. After that, we will also talk about the irrigation management. While reading the registration forms, I have seen some of you have enough water throughout the year. Some of you do not have that much of water. The irrigation is available maybe, few months in a year, and then during the summer days, or when the temperature rises, there is not much available water. So we'll have to understand how can we utilize this water or the irrigation in an effective way, so that you will have, you do not end up unnecessarily wasting the water, because this is a very valuable resource. We cannot create water. So we will learn about how much water you can give and how you're going to give it. After that, weed management is also important, especially during the first couple of months when your plant is growing, whether you have planted the seed or if you have done the transplantation of the seedling. The weed management is very important, because weed will compete with the your moringa, and if there is a competition, it will definitely hamper the growth of the plant. So we'll talk about the weed management as well. After that, crop protection is always important, because there is gonna be insects, there is gonna be fungal attack, there is gonna be root rotting and everything. So we will have to take the crop protection into the consideration, whether it's organic or the residue free. We will have to be ready for that. Pruning, we
People
will
finish
learn
before my
about,
dress.
yeah, we will learn about pruning technology. Whether you're gonna go for the leaf production or you're gonna for the vegetable production, the pruning is the most important part. It will help you to boost the growth of the plant, and we'll have a lot of leaves coming from that, a lot of flower coming from that, a lot of fruits coming from that. So we will learn about the pruning, how you're gonna do it, how many times you're gonna do it, what is the exact time you're gonna do it. So we will also learn it, and not only verbally or just theoretically. I will also share the videos with you how it is being done. You can also share the videos with me, just as how we have done, whether it's right or wrong, or if you have something better, we will also ready to adapt that into the training part. And in the also we will also talk about the intercropping. Sometimes what happens, we are so focused on the monocrop just for the moringa. We are focusing on just taking the moringa. What happens when we are not able to sell that moringa in the market? What happens when there is a weather which goes bad? It's just continuously raining. We are not able to take the good amount of leaf, or good amount of flower is not coming. And then for few months we are not able to, because this crop moringa is very very weather dependent. And when the weather or something goes wrong, and when you're not able to harvest the yield, you're gonna lose the time, money, the resources that you are putting into it. So at that point of time, you will have to have a backup, something that will support you during this difficult time. So intercropping agroforestry is also important, and we will learn in this training how we can accommodate the local crop, the crop that you can sell easily in the market. We can accommodate that crop into the moringa, and so that you can have a backup system, even if you're not able to sell anything, or if you need some time to sell your moringa produce in the market, you will have your intercropping, that you can sell easily in the market and get the money, so that you can support yourself and your farming becomes sustainable. uh, After that, in this basic training, we will also talk about the weather. How weather affects your leaf production, how the weather affects your pod production or the seed production. What is the limitation for us? Because we always kind of think that we would like to have the production all over year, throughout the months, 24/7. But that doesn't happen. That is not the way to go. We will have to learn to do the farming aligned with the local weather. We will have to take weather is very very important. We have to consider it, and according we have to change our management practices, or accordingly we can do some things that will give us an advantage. If you try to go against the weather, you will end up spending a lot of money, and then you will also not get the right amount of yield. So ultimately we usually all go into loss. So weather, we'll talk about the weather in depth. And market, yes, the all these things will not work if you're not able to sell anything in the market. So basic thing is, you have to look into the market first. Where can you sell it? Whom are you going to sell it? How are you going to sell it? What are you going to sell it? If you do not know the market, if you do not know what sells in the market, which market you're gonna sell it, there is no point in going through all these things, because you're gonna take efforts, put your money into the farming, put your time, your hard work, resources, fertigation, everything you're gonna do, and in the end, when you have a good yield, you take the yield, go to the market, and you sometimes you feel that okay, there is nobody buying this in the market. So what's the point in going through all these things? Rather, you can go for any other crop. It's not mandatory to go for the moringa. You can also have other crops that the same technology, the same videos, or the fertigation, irrigation management, weed management, everything. It is not limited to moringa. You can apply the same to any other crop that sells in the market, because our goal is to sell our produce and earn some money. We are not doing any charity. This is a commercial purpose, right? This is not gardening. So our purpose is to sell something in the market so that we can earn some money. And if there is no market, if you do not know the market, there is no point in going through all this thing. So simultaneously, we have to look into the market as well. We should know about the market. Where are we going to sell it? How much are we going to sell it? What is the cost? What is the cost of the buyer? What price he's buying from us. Accordingly, we will have to manage our budget, because if we end up spending too much on the produce and the market is very less, ultimately you will not get the money. We will be into loss. So this is what it is talk about: your yield, your market rate, minus your whatever the expenses that incurred to do this farming, and ultimately whether we're going to get the profit or loss. So this is what we will cover this into the basic training, so that we understand each other. We set the level, the platform to everybody. We come to the same platform, and from there we all begin your own journey. You will begin, you will go to the farm, and then you will consider all these points. If you haven't considered before, you will consider all these points, go there, try to do the farming. And then when you come up with the problem, maybe you have some kind of disease, maybe you do not know how to do the fertigation exactly. Maybe if the fertigation or the bacteria I'm telling you, which is not available in your market, you can come up with what is available in your market, and how we can accommodate what is available in your market into the farming, because you cannot just keep importing from somebody else. It will be so costly. So we will have to utilize the material, the resources, everything which is available locally, which is available easily, and we have to use it in a best way, so that we can have a sustainable farming. We can sell it in the market, and we can earn some money. So this is about the training. So that is the reason it's not 2 hours uh, training. This is a complete knowledge exchange program. We will be together. We will communicating with each other together for next 1 year, so that we know your problems, and we can help you with the solution. You can bring your problems. We can have meetings. There will be other farmers as well, who will be joining us, and they also know this is the problem. Maybe somebody has a solution over there, maybe we have a solution, and we can share these solutions with you, so that uh, we can make it more and more sustainable. That is the reason duration of this program is 1 year. uh, the cost of the program is $50 for entire year, and we will have a batch. Once you enroll, we will have a batch number dedicated, and the date dedicated to that batch. We'll create a group so that we can communicate with each other. You have any questions, you have any videos, if you do not understand anything, when you go to the farm, something that is that you have seen in the training, you think that maybe it's not feasible in our location, you can share your resources. This is what we have, and how can we best, and so that we can have individual meetings also, so that individually we can understand your goals, and then we can take it further. So this is all about, we can use Zoom, Telegram, Facebook, Google, WhatsApp, any way, any way which is easier for you to communicate with us. We will have multiple group sessions. We will talk about the weather, we'll talk about the irrigation, we'll talk about the fertigation management. We will, as I already told you, we will have individual planning session. Some of you might be very new to this, uh, who hasn't gone through this farming, who doesn't understand anything at all, and they need personal thing. How can they start? What would be the first step, second steps, third step, and how can they step by step? So we will also have individual planning. Some of you might be more experienced than me, and then you come up with something. This is what we're doing in a better way. This is our traditional way. So we can blend the traditional way into the modern farming, so that we can make it sustainable according to your local resources. And then we'll take it further. So the communication is the key over here. Data sharing, video sharing, we can talk, we can call each other, and we can make it successful. Uh, another thing is, this is not some kind of magic formula. You're you will go to your field, work hard, still you will keep facing the problem. You will come up with the problem. We'll also work hard with you to bring some solution to it. And then you know uh, you and I, Joshua, and together we will try to come up with this solution. This is a give and take platform. This is not some kind of magic formula where just go through the training and you will end up earning so much of money. No, this is about problem solving. The knowledge exchange program is all about problem solving, and how can we bring the sustainable solutions. We do not want to have end up spending too much on technology, because like Africa, in India also we have problems where we do not have too much of capital and technology over here. But then we are still able to manage, some kind of ideas, the local resources, something or other, that we come up with some solutions that is, sustainable for us, and then we are able to sell our produce in the market and still earn money. So this is what the knowledge exchange program is all about. Sowing till harvesting. Now, the limitation of this program is, as of at this point of time, we are not covering any post-harvest management. I know the post-management, harvest, processing, packaging, marketing is very important. But then, at this point of time, we are still in the beginning phase, and there is a lot to cover. So we're still looking into that part. How can we do that? But then, as of now, we have not included that part. How can we do it? But that doesn't mean we're not going to help you. Whatever we have, if we know how to package it, we know how to brand it, we'll definitely share it with you. So no problem with it at all. So this is this is all about the knowledge exchange program. If you have any questions, I'm just going on and on. If you have any questions, please, you can bring the questions as well, and go ahead with that.
All right. Please, who has questions that you want to send across so that we could address it? Because we have tabled questions that already we have received in our emails, and they are numerous. So we wouldn't be able to go through all the answers based on the ones we've received in the email. We can put some of them together. Some of the questions are interrelated. So we will put some of the questions together and address them. However, once you are privileged to be on the platform now, if you have anything bothering your mind, let's discuss it, and then let's kick the road, because from the next meeting, we are going straight into the training. My brother from Sierra Leone say, do you have anything to talk about or ask us about?
Yes, just like you said, we have been having a lot of difficulties in
Yeah.
growing moringa,
Yeah.
particularly on the field,
Yeah.
because for most of our times we have had a huge number of people coming to our workshops. They have been doing it, but what has stopped them was that they have not been successful on the field. So what we ended up doing was to directly sow the seeds on the field. That one again did not work because we had root rots. Some of them will spend all the money to plow, we plant, and eventually nothing comes up. So a lot of people backed up, they are still excited, you know. But one of the things that I want to really know to see is that how can we access the right genetic material, seeds, like we are talking about the PKs, OD6, OD63, and that kind of thing. How do I get that one? Because for me, I have a large following. A lot of people, I introduced it during the war. And a lot of people, the few things that they can grow behind them. What we did was that we grew them around the houses in compounds. That one did very well. And at the small scale, majority of them made a lot of income, and they were so excited about it. But what was lacking now was when we got to the main field, we could not succeed. So it's an opportunity for me to be on this forum so that we can once again start off this thing. But one thing is that it's the access to seeds, because the seeds that we have now, we are not really sure. Maybe we have problems because we do not have the correct seeds. So how can we access these seeds?
Yeah, Sheti, I think you can take that up.
See, what we are doing here in India, we have a separate seed production program over here. So we maintain we do the seed production scientifically, where the isolation distance is maintained, the grading is being done, the germination is being tested, and the packaging, and after the packaging, after you sell it to farmers, we also have after sales service, so that sometimes if the seed does not grow, we have to sit with the farmer and talk about the problem, what went wrong exactly. If there is a problem from our side, the seed was not good, or if there is a problem with the from the on the field, whether he has not irrigated very well, or it is irrigated too much. So we sit down with the farmer and come up with the solution, what is the solution about it, and then we discuss the issue and find the solution towards it. Regarding the availability of the seeds, we are already exporting the seeds to Joshua, to Moringa city, and then he is redistributing them all over Africa. So if you have any particular seed requirement, we are already sending it to him. We can plan accordingly, and then Joshua can redistribute it to you. And then before you sow the seeds, we can sit down and plan accordingly, so that we will have a better germination. How you can germinate it in a very well way, soaking the seeds, or seed processing, and then planting the seed in the right season, the temperature. So these all things which affects on the field for the germination. So you do not have to rely or you do not have to be dependent on the luck. There has to be calculative risk, the efforts has to be taken to provide the seed as well. You cannot just harvest it, put it into the bag and just sell it to somebody. There has to be scientific way, it has to be credited, germination has to be tested, the moisture has to be tested, seed needs to be graded according to the density, the gravity separator has to be used. So that is what we do here. We send it to the Moringa city Joshua, and then he will distribute it to you, so that you don't have to be dependent on luck to be germinated. And once you buy the seed, we'll also help you. We can sit down and talk what you want to do, what is the season where you're going to grow, what is how you're going to water it. We'll talk about that as well, so that you don't end up with the root rot and everything, because that comes into the disease part as well. So we'll definitely talk about it, so that the seeds will germinate very well at your end as well.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Harold, are you okay with your questions?
Yes, I'm quite okay. I'm quite okay. The only area where I wanted to clarification, is it possible to plant directly, to sow directly to the field?
Yes, absolutely. That's what we do here. We do not do nursery or everything. We simply take the seed, go to the field and sow the seed. This is how easy it is. Yes, there are few precautions that you need to take, but that is actually the best practice.
All right, fine.
If you have the right soil, right temperature, you can simply directly sow the seed, and we will show you with the video as well. We also already have video posted on the YouTube channel, but then we will also show you the video how it is been planted in our in our farm, how we do it exactly, so that you can actually see, you have that kind of control. We do not prepare the seedlings at all, because this is the problem with the seedlings. What happens with the seedlings is the moringa takes a little bit of time to develop the root system. It has a tap root system and the lateral roots, which absorbs the fertilizer, nutrition and the water. They are not very well developed. The total area, the developed tree I'm talking about, the total area is only around 3 to 4 feet diameter from the tree. So they are not developed very well. The tree is anchored itself into the tap root system. So what happens when you do the transplantation, when you do not have the quality seedling, or the seedling is very small, or the enough fiber is not developed into the plant, what happens whenever there is a wind coming, or if you water too much, it will start falling down. The flexibility is there because the fiber is not developed in that particular plant. So you need to make sure, even if you would like to go for the seedling plantation or seedling transplantation, make sure your plant is very good. The fiber is developed enough so that it doesn't just start collapsing with the wind. And if you do not want to do that, if you do not want to spend money, resources, and time taking care of the seedlings, because transplantation also takes the labor cost, so you can directly sow the seed. That is the best method to do, and it's very easy. Once you transplant, once you sow the seed, it will germinate in 10 to 12 days, and after that you do not have to take care of too much. Even if it is windy or something like that, your seeds will grow very fast way than the seedlings.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah, thank you. All right, Mr. Harold, I'm sure we will not be able to exhaust all your questions at this very moment. That is why we will be having further discussions as we move along. So if there are other questions, obviously we will take care of it in the next stage. Today's session is actually to talk about the questions we have received from some of our people who emailed us. But as you are on board, we just think you will be able to also ask one or two. But there are other further sections that will carry on that we will take care of other questions. So let's look at Akwesi. Akwesi, you raised your hand. Do you have something for us?
Yes, please. Thank you for the opportunity.
Good.
I haven't heard about his presentation. I've heard a lot about moringa planting on a good soil. How do you then identify that this type of soil is good for your moringa production? Because with my studies online, I have realized that most moringa plants grow on clay soil which you planted, which is just good for planting. So does it mean that there's a particular type of soil which is good for moringa plantation? And how do you also identify this type of soil is good for your moringa plantation? Thank you.
Well, yes, definitely we will talk about the soil as well, but then just to give you, we have also covered the soil part. Let me give you, let me answer you. So this is the type of soil which is best for the moringa: red loam, red sandy loam, clay loam, sandy loam soils. These soils. So why these soils are best? Because these soil, they do not hold water. Even if it rains continuously, you can still next day you can still go ahead and walk in the field. There is no sticky soil. There is no mud. Though the water is not logging in the field. So you need to make sure your soil is something like that. It drains the water, very easily. So that is the basic foundation of any soil that you need to choose. You can avoid black soil and black cotton soil, where you can, the soil where you can simply sometimes you irrigate it and then it will start becoming very sticky. So what happens when the soil is sticky? It will hold the water for a very long time, and this is where the root rot starts coming, or you will start that your plants, the leaves will start yellowing. So that is the very basic of the plant. Whenever you start seeing that the leaf of the plants are yellowing, just make sure you reduce the water. Sometimes when it rains, during the rainy season, when it rains, you will see that, first couple of weeks you will start observing that your plants will start yellowing, and there is nothing you can do. Even if you spray some fertilizer or nutrient from outside, your plant is still yellow. That is because there is too much water in the soil. Your soil is retaining too much water. It is holding too much of water. This particular plant does not require too much water. All the cells, whether the cells in the fruit, whether the cells in the stem, whether the cells in the leaves, they all hold and store water. So even if you do not water for 7 to 10 days, the plant will no, the plant will not be bothered. You will still see the green plant. So you have to control the irrigation and you have to look into the soil. If you are in an area whether it is raining too much, then you will have to plan accordingly. You can prepare the raised beds, or you can prepare the mulching or something like that, so that the water, even if there is too much rain, pouring, the water just, draining from that particular field, so that, your plants will not the growth will not be affected by these things. So this is the type of soil that you need to choose, where the water holding capacity is not that much. This is the basic principle of choosing any soil. Maybe you don't have to go with the color itself. I'm just giving the best example: the red loam, red sandy loam, clay loam, sandy loam soils. Maybe you have a different color, maybe you have a different soil. Just make sure your soil or your field does not have water logging, and your soil does not hold too much water. That's the basic principle, and accordingly you can choose your field.
All right, thank you. Akwesi, are you fine?
Yes, please. I think it was well explained. Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, okay. But in Ghana, with the Tamale area, the soils there are, most of the soils are good for Moringa. The Tamale, the Upper East, the Upper West. We haven't recorded any of the planting that has gone negative. Most of the plantings are successful over there. So the area there is good for planting Moringa.
Oh, okay. I wanted to put it.
Yeah. I hope you are talking about within the northern region.
That is Tamale in particular.
Yeah, so yeah, even if you have any issues with the soil, we can have a video session to look into the soil. We can see the photos, and accordingly, we can suggest whatever we know. We can suggest accordingly. If there is some precaution that you need to take care, we can plan accordingly, well before you plant the seeds, or doing the transplantation. So even if the soil is not matching with our requirement, if there is the soil is holding the water, there is some practices that you can follow that will give you an advantage, so that your plant growth is not affected. So we can, during the training, we can also talk about those things as well. There are different kinds of mulching: the plastic mulching, the organic mulching. So we'll talk about that as well. If there is a problem with the soil and you do not have option to change the soil or to change the field, because maybe sometimes some people have, this is the land I have, this is the soil I have, and I would like to go for the Moringa production. What should I do? So we will have to take the limitation into the consideration. Once we know our limitation, once we know our problem, we will definitely able to find some kind of solution, some kind of management practices that we can plan well before you sow the seed, so that even if the problem comes, we will reduce the impact of that problem. So that is what about the knowledge sharing, this knowledge exchange program is all about.
All right. So, Sheti, can we take up the questions that has been emailed to us, and we begin
Yes.
addressing them?
Okay, sure. Who do we have here? Let's say, people we have here, we can take their form so that we can discuss. Let's see. We have Alonso here. Hi, Alonso.
Hey, what's up?
Hi. Okay, so let's see your farm. So you're from Phoenix, Arizona.
Yeah.
Let's see, and you're completely, so you're new, right? I mean, you haven't done this farming at all before.
Sheti, I'm coming. Alonso is not new. Alonso, you are not new.
I'm new.
Okay.
What are you talking about?
I don't know. He has written
No,
a new
no.
Moringa farmer. So,
No. He is not new. He's not new.
Okay, so he's the smartest one here. He knows how things
Yeah.
going on.
Yes,
Yeah,
he's a big man. He's a big man in Moringa.
okay, cool. So
Well,
I see that go ahead. Yeah.
So basically, we started about a year ago, but through a lot of research, a lot of experimenting stuff, finding different things, and growing our own, we are doing more of an intensive growing version. I know a lot of the guys are talking about doing a lot of field commercial, massive land. Just based off of where I am, I don't have the land yet. So we're just doing intensive raised beds, basically. And if you guys, I go by Bountiful Groves on like Instagram, LinkedIn, stuff like that. So if you guys follow, you could see basically what we do. And we're just growing them, small scale in intensive beds. We're preparing the soil, we're making sure everything's good. And then we're selling it for our own business as far as capsules, oils, stuff like that. So yeah, I'm new, but I guess I'm not new according to him.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's a good way, promoting your products locally. That's the best way any business can sustain. So I think here you have written that you are going for the leaf, seed, animal fodder, and the flower and the biofuel production.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and you're saying that you have a limited land, but then like to go for the intensive production, right?
Yeah, that's what we're going for right now. Until
Right.
the plan is to either have my own land. I'm not so sure about renting out and having it, somewhere else. I'd prefer if I'm gonna grow it, I'm gonna grow it myself and have it in my commercial farmland. Just because it, you got to make, like you said, you got to make sure it's cared for right, and especially here in the U.S. We have so many regulations for our Department of Agriculture. If a leaf, I see a lot of the guys cultivating it, and if a leaf touches the ground, they're like, no, like they don't even care if you're washing it afterwards. They're like, no, you can't put it on the ground. You can get E. coli. I'm like, okay, wow. So it's one of those things where we have a lot of rules here that it just, I would like to I guess
Right.
I would like to work it out, but it'd be better if I just oversaw it myself. So basically, it's just my company, me and my wife are doing stuff. So it's the way it's been. So we'll see how it turns out. But I just wanted to be part of all your groups and stuff and see, if you guys, have interesting information, or if you need information. I don't know if Josh told you, I wrote a book, so I've done a lot of research on as far as the growing, the uses, what they're trying to use it for here in the future, and I that'll be coming out here soon. But like I said, it's definitely a plant that definitely should be seen by the world, I think, so that we can start utilizing it better, and that's the whole thing of, I think you guys are trying to do, is just get the word out there that this is an awesome plant that needs to be used by everybody. So
absolutely agree with you. Yeah, even I've tried, because here in India, we usually consume the moringa pods, and we usually do not eat leaves. I know leaves are nutritious and all those things, but then people simply over here, they buy the vegetables and pods. So we also tried the intensive moringa production for the leaf. And one thing I always face the problem with the intensive moringa production is the availability of the seeds, good quality seeds. The second thing is the mortality rate, because the distance, sometimes you can go for 10 centimeter by 15 centimeter. Some people even go for that, but then you will also have to look into the mortality rate. The more the spacing is very close, you will, some or the other day, you will end up with the mortality rate. The plant will not sustain for a long term, and it will start turning yellow. And then there is another problem with the nutritional management as well, because I see that in US the organic is the only way where you can sell those leaves. There is no way it has to be chemical, or it has to be residue free. It has to be organic. So you have to continuously refill the soil with the nutrition, so that the amount of yield doesn't hamper throughout the year. Because at the beginning, as I want to discuss, in the beginning the production is always good, plants also look good, and then as the day passes, maybe 3 months, 4 months after that, you will start seeing that the leaves are not that kind of green, or it starts yellowing, or some plants keep dying in between. The mortality rate is always there. So you can still go for the intensive production, or you can still have, depending on how much you want to sell, or how much you have targeted to sell within that particular period, and how much production you need from the field, even if you have a limited land, because in India as well, we do not have bigger lands. We have 1 acre, 1 hectare. That's the maximum we have, majority of the people. But then we still go for the intensive or the semi-intensive production along with the local crop as well, and we still manage it without the mortality. It's still mortality rate is still controlled, and we're still able to do the fertigation and irrigation. So we can definitely talk about the different distances and advantages about it, disadvantages about it, and then you can see which one fits for you, which one is feasible for you, which one gives you the right amount of production, so that your sales or your market, you're able to fulfill that market with that yield. um, if your weather permits, I do not know the weather in Arizona, but then if the weather is it's good and the temperature is good, in between the leaf production, you can also plan the seed production as well. In between, you can have the plants for the seed production, and then simultaneously you're taking the leaf production. And when there is a time, when there is a season, because the seed production happens in the season, it's not throughout the year. So in that particular season, you also have plants dedicated for the seed production. So within the same resources, within the same land, with the same amount of investment, you could do a lot better. I mean, you have research, or maybe you already have this, already experienced with this. But then this is my take. You can, with the limited amount of land and resources, you could still go for the seed, animal fodder, and the leaf production, and it can be planned very well.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I see that it's also see that the residue free. How does the residue free works over there? Because as far as I see, people always prefer organic, and they would like to have some kind of organic stamp or the certification. So how does the residue free sales in your area compare to organic? I mean, is there different prices, or how do the
Yeah.
customer look into it?
Yeah, and it was funny because I didn't get my seeds. I don't think I got my seeds. Crap, I can't remember the name. But they're in like Tamil Nadu. What are they called? Greenish Exports. There you go, Greenish Exports. I don't know if you know anything about them, but they're saying it's organic, this and that, and But out here, when you say organic, it means like no GMOs, none of that stuff. It can't be bioengineered, all that stuff. So basically, when you do products out here, um, and again, this is all just stuff that I've collected and known. But when you do stuff out here, a lot of the stuff out here is GMO. So especially like our livestock, meats, all that type of stuff. So
Right.
and when people are going organic or they're trying to do USDA organic, they are actually going under a standard of saying, okay, I'm not using any pesticides on my crops, okay, directly. But there still is a percent, range where you can still have testing for the pesticides and stuff like that. So I think you're looking at my account, my profile there I filled out, right? Is that where
Yeah,
you
yeah, yeah. That's right.
yeah,
Yeah,
so
that's right.
so
Yeah.
basically that's why it's not of my concern to be organic. Um Organic is just it's like it's like taxes and being married, man. Taxes and being married is a lot better than doing it single, but it's just another way that the government has to regulate things. They just want you to get more licensing, more testing, more this and more that. Honestly,
Right.
like I said, I've gone through my avenues here in Arizona. I've gone through my Department of Agriculture. I've gone through FDA, all that stuff. So I've been through a lot of people. I've myself, just paid for the E. coli testing. So basically, we have a greenish or a green exports. What is it called? No, leafy green. Sorry, I apologize. Leafy green agreement here in America. I don't know if that extends out there to the other countries. I believe it does, but basically, you just have to test for certain things. You have to test for E. coli, salmonella, these other just very basic things that just won't make people sick that you would test for like in spinach or something. So basically, as long as I test for that, I mean, there's no benefit for me to be organic, because no matter how much you tell our people organic, and yeah, I get people are like, oh, it says organic, I'm going to eat it then. No matter how much you tell people that, it doesn't matter, because I could tell somebody it's organic and they might jump all over. I tell the next person it's organic. Oh, well, it has this in it, so I don't want it. I don't want to take that. That's, it's just another ploy for the government to just take from the commercial growers. So like I said, I know that the organic stuff is a hot item, but even though it said organic, it's not grown like how people think it is. You still have the stuff, the free radicals in the air. You still have the pesticides in the air that still get onto your plants, still get onto your product. And, and again, like I said, you still are having these mass commercial places that they aren't harvesting it correctly. They're harvesting it. Like even, some of the people that, we talk to, I mean, they're throwing videos out there and they're harvesting. And like I said, they're throwing it right on the ground. They're throwing it right. And I know they wash them and stuff, but it's still one of those things like, like I said, I think the government's just using the organic seal just to get it, pay for it, but you do just as well if you don't have it. It's just, it's what you put into it, and as long as you know what you put into it, you know that it's basically natural. I mean, you would just sell it, wouldn't have to go the whole organic route, and you'll do just as good,
Absolutely. I mean, this is in fact, because even in India, nowadays, what is happening, people would like to go for the USDA certification or the European certification so that they can export it. But the USDA and European certification is so costly, and their norms day by day are getting so narrowed that it becomes impossible for the small farm holder or somebody who does not have that amount of capital, to consistently maintain the USDA certified organic. So this is the article, I'll share it with you as well. This is the research has been done in Montana University, where they're talking about going beyond the organic, where you do not have to necessarily spend the money on doing the USDA, but then you're still able to, they have given some examples. This was, let me share some of the packagings that they are doing over there, and promoting local food compared to the organic. Let me see.
Yeah, because all the local food is all getting all the nutrients from your local area. I mean, if I grow it in an area connected over to Africa, it's not the same nutrients. That's why I understand that a lot of people want to do a lot of this packaging and sending across seas and doing all this stuff and have a bigger fan base. But, and still at the same point, that's why we sell at farmers markets and stuff like that, because we have a lot of people that are, kind of grouped that understand the more local you eat, the more nutrients you get from your area. I'm going to have different amounts of vitamin D and stuff in the leaves from the sun. And like here in Arizona, we have basically optimal temperatures for, you mentioned that before, we have optimal temperatures for growing it, So, but I noticed this last year, actually, because last year our crops did really, really good. But this year, the ones that were out a little bit more, I feel like the UVs are getting stronger. So we had to kind of shade them a little bit more. But, yeah, it's just like you said, it's year by year. It's just whatever's happening in the world, you just kind of accommodate to it. But
absolutely.
But for sure, like local is way better than sending it across, because once you send it across, now you have all that wait time. Now you have all that, different climates, different altitude changes, all that type of things. It goes across sea, the humidity levels across the sea. I mean, there's things that can happen. There's things that can change it, dramatically. So that's why I just, when I'm trying to promote and, be a proponent of Moringa, I just try to make sure, I want everybody to have a good, successful business, but also remember, the goal is to try to help people, and the best way to do it locally.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is where, I was also researching, because here as well, if you go to the malls and, places where they are just selling the certified products, but then, if you are going to sell the local products, we are helping the farmers in the community over here. We are helping to and basically, and by the way, we were so inspired with this article where they came up with this organic food literacy packet, where on your package it is written over there, it's not certified USD or something like that, but then it is written how it is better than the organic commercial farming, and they have developed the norms and how you can package it, and this is working way better for us. This is this is happening in USA, in Montana, where they have came up with this thing, the rules and regulation and the packaging, how the small farmers and small communities, they don't have to go after the expensive certification, and then they still can control the environment, the social the soil, the bacteria, soil management, and still they are able to provide good quality residue free food to the consumers. And people are also preferring to buy local food over the certified, which is coming from the other country, or the commercially they are harvested, something like that. So yeah, this is completely fascinating. This can be applicable, and I think this should be for the small farm holders. This is the way to go. The organic food literacy packet, where on the packet itself it is written for the customer, and they can read it, and they will be motivated to buy these products as well.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. We have Lakumanan here, right? Is he here?
Hey, yeah, yes, go ahead.
Hi. I think I think we had a conversation a couple of days ago as well. He called me, and then we had a long discussion where he currently he's situated in Netherlands, but then his hometown in the southern state of India, and he would like to do something for his people over there. And the basic problem over there is they do not have the enough water. They do not have irrigation available throughout the year, and even if it is available, it has to be managed very well. So he's thinking the moringa is the crop where within the given the amount of water or the amount of water resources they have, he thinks that the moringa will be the right crop, and with the moringa they can also have the local other crops where they are able to sell it in the market as well, and then make it sustainable. So accordingly, he liked to go for the leaf production and the seed production, and also promote the animal fodder as well, where they can sell it in the local market, or they can also utilize the animal fodder, the moringa animal fodder, for their cattle or something like that, so that their expense buying these fodders from outside, they can save those expenses and still be able to provide the better nutrition to their cattle, ultimately increasing their output as well. So this is what his plan that we have talked about. Am I right? Am I
Yeah, thank you. I think you covered mostly. Yeah. So indeed, as you indicated in your introduction, so my plan is also basically to connect and then enable more like a sustainable farming for the farmers in the region that I'm from. I think moringa is a good plant. As you indicated, considering the weather and the soil, water, all the conditions, it's kind of a perfect plant. Also, with my network around the globe, as you indicated, if we can create a good market for the farmers, so it can also help them, especially some of the people, they have migrated as laborers, leaving their family to Gulf countries or Singapore, Malaysia, even for $200, $300 per month, leaving their whole family years together. So my vision and dream basically to enable more kind of economically doing this farming, also connecting to the market, getting yeah, enough means for them, at least give them the same amount of profit, like yeah, $200-300 per month, that they don't need to go
Right.
for Gulf countries as labor, rather they can stay with their family. Yeah, so in that sense, yeah, I found this one as a very good one. Moringa having a lot of benefits, especially yeah, I'm from the southern part of India, basically from Tamil Nadu in India. All the seeds that you talk about, PKM1, PKM2,
Right.
OTC3, yeah, everything coming from same region as I'm from,
Absolutely.
and it just comes easily in our area. But people, they do not have awareness about the value of this moringa, in terms of nutrients or all the medicinal benefits. I think yeah, when I entered into this after hearing via a friend and then explored via Google, and now connecting with a lot of you as experts who are already in this area, yeah, I'm simply amazed the amount of benefits it has. I'm only trying to make the connections of the right
Right.
network, right people around the globe towards yeah, the farmers in my region. So I'm still new in that sense, but I'm very happy to be connected with this nice network. And that's and thank you all for yeah
Absolutely right. Yeah.
being
Thanks
here.
so much. Okay. Let's see what else we have here.
P, on the line.
Yeah, we have Harold here. I think let's see what he has written. He wants to. He's a new Moringa farmer, agriculture consultant. Would like to set up the nursery. That is also good business. I mean, it's a good point. You yourself has faced a problem with the nursery, where probably you have bought the seeds and tried the nursery and tried to do the transplantation, but then it didn't work. Or maybe the fellow farmers over there, they also face the same problem. So we can talk about the solution, how you can set up the nursery, and the nursery could become a business for you as well. People don't have to necessarily buy the seeds. They can buy the good quality plants, and if the good quality plants is transplanted in the right way, they also grow very well. So yeah, we can definitely talk about how to set up the nursery, and what is the quality of the plant and how the quality can be achieved. What are the limitations and how can be transplanted, and what are the precautions that can be taken. And it not only benefits you, you could have a business. You can start a nursery, local nursery over there, and also sell the plants over there. So that's a good point. Uh, like to go for the leaf and seed production. uh, yes, can be planned. Leaf and seed production can be planned together. It can have a monocropping. We can also, depending on your requirement, we can also do it with the other crops as well, where you can have a moringa leaf with the some other local crop as well, because you don't have to dependent on one crop. If something goes bad, you still have the other crop to back you up financially, so that you can keep continuing with this thing. You can also have the leaf production and the seed production in between as well. That can also be planned very well. Like to go for the organic sandy loam soil. Yeah, so we can discuss these things, the local market and the national market. That's a good thing. Local and the national market gives you the sustainability for the business, and then you can go for the overseas market as well. Management of moringa seedlings. Yeah, okay. So you have rice, vegetables, and pulses. Rice is not possible, but then you can plan vegetables and you can plan pulses in between, where you are taking the leaf production and between you are also planning for the pulses, so that whatever the expenses that you are incurring for the moringa leaf production, those expenses is being already taken care of from the vegetable production and from the pulses production. So whenever you sell anything, the moringa, anything, whether you're selling for $1 leaf or you're selling for $1,000 leaf, that complete produce will turn into 100% profitable. So this is, my objective is to plan intercrop between moringa, so that your moringa expenses, whether your expenses for the labor, for the pesticide or anything, that is being covered by the intercrop, whether it's vegetable pulses that you can sell easily in the market. So that when you harvest your moringa production, it will turn into complete 100% profit. So yeah, that's it. That's it all about Joshua. You have anything to say?
Yeah, yes. I think we have already used 1 hour and 21 minutes. We will, if it is fine with everyone, Mr. Harold, and the rest, I will plead that we could wind up and prepare toward the next section, which will be purely for the meeting. Now, the next section is going to be for the paid members, that we could start the training straight away with them. Mr. Harold and Akwesi and the rest, if you have further questions, we can discuss it when we close. Then we can see how we can have you enrolled, and we will start intensive training. As Sheti said, there are more to be discussed. Some of the people, they have calculated their data or their bundle, and if it goes a bit longer, it will cut them off. So this is just like yes. So this is just like a prelims. Mr. Harold, I will call you after this discussion, and we will have detailed discussion. I will call you right away on WhatsApp, and then we can talk more. Then we will see how best we could start, because it's a rainy season. We will see how best we could start work with you and some of your people that you want us to enroll with. From next week, the plan is that whoever is on board within the training, we will start intensive training with the person. And then we will use that as a testimony and a reference point for others. So, Sheti, if you permit me, I will plead with you that we could wind up, and then prepare for the next section, which we will discuss. Mr. Harold, I will call you immediately we end this discussion, and then me and you will talk.
I appreciate it.
That's fine. Akwesi, are you there? Hello, Akwesi.
Yes, I'm there.
Good. Try and let me have your contact, because I'm in Sunyani. Sunyani to Tamale is not too far. So try and let me have your contact, so that I could talk to you immediately we end on. All right. Immediately we end this I could call you immediately. All right.
Can I send it to the message box?
I don't know how you could send it to me, but just try and let me have it. Just WhatsApp it to me or something. All right.
Okay.
Yeah, Mr. Harold, I don't have your number. Please try and then WhatsApp it to me, so that I can just call you right away.
Yes, I think I have your own number. I will do that.
Okay, just send me WhatsApp. I could see I've seen yours. Yeah, I have seen yours. Yeah, it's Aluzo. Aluzo, are you around?
I'm here. Yeah.
Good. Yeah, I think we're winding up. Do you have yeah, good. So me and you will keep in touch on Instagram.
Yep.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right.
Yeah, we'll keep in touch on Instagram. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if anybody has any question or any doubt regarding this program, they can simply reach us. They can send an email on info@moringacity.biz, or I have already sent you WhatsApp as well. You can reach me as well, or you can send an email. Communications are open. You can reach anyway, or you can just call and we can just talk about it. Because I see that 1 hour is not enough. Because this discussion is going to go on and on and on. There are a lot of things, and it's not possible to cover everybody and all the questions, because everybody has a question, and a problem has to be solved in his own way. He has different resources. Alonso has a different problem. Mr. Harold has a different problem. And then your resources are different. So we'll have to take this consideration, what you have, what you want to do, and how you can, accommodate these problems into the solution and then deliver it in a sustainable way. So for this, we will need a longer time. This is just, so that we can have a face-to-face meeting and, we have each other's confidence so that we can go ahead with this and, we can have each other's support. So I think that is all from my side.
All right. Thank you very much. And we hope to meet each other again. God be with everyone and let's keep in touch.